Welcome, brave souls, to a journey into the heart of cinematic horror. Picture, if you will, shadows that creep and crawl, screams that echo in the dead of night, and the chilling suspense that leaves you on the edge of your seat. Imagine the spine-tingling fear that sends shivers down your spine, the eerie silence that precedes a dreadful scare, and the unforgettable nightmares these films have inspired. Stay with us if you dare as we delve into the top 5 spine-chilling movies of all time. At number 5, we have the bone-chilling masterpiece, The Exorcist. This film, released in the year 1973, has seared itself into the collective consciousness of horror aficionados around the globe. Directed by the masterful William Friedkin, The Exorcist is a chilling narrative that delves into the darkest corners of the human psyche. The plot centers around a 12-year-old girl, Regan, who begins to exhibit bizarre and terrifying behavior. As the story unfolds, we're drawn into a chilling tale of possession and the desperate measures taken to save Regan from the demonic entity that has taken hold. Friedkin, known for his adept handling of suspense and horror, truly outdid himself with this film. He managed to transform William Peter Blatty's novel into a cinematic experience that transcends the boundaries of the horror genre. The Exorcist doesn't merely aim to scare, it explores profound themes of faith, doubt, and the nature of evil itself. The film's unsettling atmosphere, combined with masterful performances by the cast, makes it a timeless classic. Despite its age, the terror it inflicts remains as potent as ever. The creeping dread, the spine-chilling scenes, the sheer intensity of the story, all combine to make The Exorcist a truly unforgettable experience. A film that continues to terrify audiences to this day. The Exorcist sets the bar high for horror. Moving on to number 4, we encounter the unnerving tale of Psycho. This classic film, released in 1960, is an enduring testament to the genius of its director, Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock, often hailed as the master of suspense, created in Psycho a narrative that has chilled the spines of audiences for over 6 decades. The plot of Psycho revolves around a secretary named Marion Crane who steals money from her employer and flees. She ends up at the Bates Motel, a seemingly innocuous establishment run by a man named Norman Bates. As the narrative unfolds, we are plunged into a world of twisted psychology and bone-chilling horror. The movie's shocking twists and unforgettable shower scene have left an indelible mark on the landscape of horror cinema. Hitchcock's genius lies not only in his storytelling, but also in his technical prowess. He shot Psycho on a low budget, using techniques typically associated with television production. This gave the film a unique aesthetic that only added to the creeping sense of dread that permeates every frame. From the eerie Bates Motel in Psycho, we transition to the brutal landscape of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, our number 3 pick. Released in 1974, this film was the brainchild of director Tobe Hooper. Texas Chainsaw Massacre tells the horrifying tale of a group of friends who fall prey to a family of cannibals while on a road trip in rural Texas. The film's antagonist, Leatherface, is a hulking figure who wields a chainsaw with terrifying ferocity. This character, inspired by the real-life crimes of Ed Gein, has become one of the most iconic villains in horror cinema. What sets Texas Chainsaw Massacre apart is its relentless intensity. The film is a grueling experience with its relentless tension and graphic violence, pushing the boundaries of what audiences had come to expect from the genre. Hooper's direction is masterful, creating an atmosphere of suffocating dread that lingers long after the credits roll. Interestingly, despite its reputation, Texas Chainsaw Massacre features very little on-screen gore. Much of the violence is implied rather than shown, a testament to Hooper's understanding of the power of suggestion. It's a film that gets under your skin, making you feel the terror of its characters in a deeply visceral way. 2 films that have left indelible marks on the horror genre, Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, are not for the faint of heart. They represent the evolution of horror cinema, tracing a path from the psychological terror of Hitchcock's Psycho to the brutal physical horror of Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Both films, in their own unique ways, have shaped the way we perceive and experience fear on the silver screen. In the number 2 spot, we find the chilling tale of The Shining, In the icy grip of a snow-clad isolation, the Overlook Hotel stands, a monument to madness and the setting for The Shining. Released in 1980, this spine-tingling masterpiece was directed by none other than Stanley Kubrick, a man who had an eye for the unusual and the uncanny. The film's plot revolves around the Torrance family, who move into the hotel for a winter of solitude and serenity, only to find themselves trapped in a maze of madness and malevolence. The film's eerie ambience, combined with Jack Nicholson's stellar performance as Jack Torrance, brought a new level of terror to the silver screen. The way Kubrick played with the viewers' minds, injecting fear and suspense into every frame, made The Shining a cinematic experience that still haunts viewers to this day. The film's lingering sense of dread, combined with its claustrophobic setting and deeply unsettling narrative, make it a worthy runner-up in our countdown. But now, let's turn our attention to the film that tops our list. A film that, despite its age, continues to terrify audiences with its disturbing narrative and masterful direction. The film we're talking about is Rosemary's Baby. Released in 1968, this film took horror to a whole new level. Directed by Roman Polanski, Rosemary's Baby tells the story of a young woman named Rosemary who, after moving into a new apartment with her husband, begins to suspect that her neighbors have sinister designs on her unborn child. The film's plot unfolds like a nightmare that's too terrifying to wake up from, slowly drawing the viewer into a web of paranoia and dread. Polanski's masterful direction, combined with Mia Farrow's haunting performance as Rosemary, made this film a classic of the horror genre. The film's unsettling atmosphere and its exploration of themes such as paranoia, manipulation, and the loss of control make it a deeply disturbing cinematic experience. Rosemary's Baby is not just a horror film, it's a psychological thriller that delves deep into the human psyche, exploring our deepest fears and anxieties. Its subtle yet effective use of horror elements combined with its masterful storytelling make it a film that transcends the boundaries of its genre. From the haunted halls of The Shining to the unsettling unease of Rosemary's Baby, these films have redefined terror. They have shown us that horror is not just about gore and jump scares, but about psychological terror and the fear of the unknown. They have pushed the boundaries of what is possible in the realm of horror cinema, and for that they deserve their place in the annals of film history. There you have it, the top 5 scariest movies of all time. We've journeyed through chilling tales from the depths of the 5th spot to the peak of horror at the top. Each film has its own unique flavor of fear, its own unsettling narrative that leaves us breathless. But remember, horror is a subjective genre, and what terrifies one may not scare another. So we're curious, what are your top 5 scariest movies? Share your list with us in the comments below.